Yeah, and then I woke up this morning. I was hungry, and I went into the what's it called, dining hall, and they had those brown sugar muffins that are delicious. I always take out the nut or the walnut off of it because I'm allergic to nuts, and I start itching in my ear canals and my throat. So what's it called? I'm on a special diet, and with fasting, mostly liquid. I gotta take these little shots because they won't let me swallow or chew. And what's it called? I ate two of those muffins, right? And then not long after, I'm laying on the floor and, and I'm, looking on my YouTube out loud and forgot there was a day of silence. And what's it called? I felt like I was under some kind of pharmaceutical. It wasn't a hallucinogen. I know the difference, believe me. When I'm dosed in food, because I've tripped on acid consensually, LSD, in my 20s, maybe 11 to 15 times. And then I tripped on psilocybin mushrooms maybe 7 to 10 times. Not that much. I'm not like no expert. People be like, "What? That's it." Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Tripped on dimethyltryptamine against my free will. They hot dosed my weed with dimethyltryptamine against my knowledge once. So I know when the hallucinogen is present. You know what I'm saying? When somebody doses food, I'm like, "Oh God, they did it again." You know, that's why sometimes I don't eat, I don't go to the Eucharist for like 3 months in Ohio with Section 3024 of the 21st Century Cures Act because it's like, bro, I'm not trying to trip. I'm not trying to, I'm just not right, not in the right state of mind, and then I'm not in the right environment to hallucinate on some kind of hallucinogen that was added or whatever chemical was added. And then there's times where it's like, it don't matter, man. I gotta go to daily Eucharist because they already dosed me in my McDonald's. I know they stated it was mescaline or whatever, and I'm not gonna be the same for like I don't know how many weeks, months, because every time you trip on a hallucinogen, certain instructors tell you if you're gonna consensually take a hallucinogen, legal in the state of Oregon and Colorado, hallucinogens are legalized. You could legally purchase and uh, consume psilocybin or mescaline, dimethyltryptamine, ergot root, LSD, etc. So don't eat out at a fast food restaurant. Anyways, what was I gonna say? I wouldn't eat the Eucharist there. And what's it called? Unless you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Every time that teachers say that if you're gonna trip on hallucinogens if you never have or you thought you never had, what's it called? What's it called? They say you have to be in the right mindset psychologically and the right environment in order to have a quote unquote good hallucinogenic experience. If you're in the wrong environment, if you're in the wrong mindset, you're going to have detrimental effects to your mental stability, sometimes for the rest of your life, with flashbacks, hallucinogenic flashbacks, nightmare trips. And I could attest that every time that I consensually used LSD, it was the wrong time in the wrong environment because it was offered to me. And I just said, "Oh, whatever, man, I'm going to do it." And every time I had a trip was a nightmare trip. Torturous, like evil nightmare trip. The first time I did LSD consensually, I to this day have a medicinal need for an opiate, yet they won't prescribe me one. So I was getting opiates in 2009 from someone who had a prescription to OxyContin. And I would take a 40 milligram or 80 milligram a day for over a year. I should have just talked to a doctor and got a prescription. I just didn't know how to. This was before the opioid epidemic. I would pay like $30 for a 40 milligram and $50 to $60 for 80 milligram on the street prices. It's terrible. I don't know how the hell I did it. I had no job at the time. Sold everything I had, and I just should have got a prescription. And what's it called? They won't give me a prescription since 2009 to hydrocodone, Percocet, Vicodin, hydrocodone, or oxycodone for pain management, nothing. And then activating the opioid receptors in my father and myself for neuroprotection gives us not drowsiness, it gives us energy. I get this euphoric energy for 12 to 15 hour periods that I can do mathematics, organize, clean, walk, function, think about females the right way, have interpersonal relationships, so on and so forth. You know, like most other people that seek opioid treatment yet can only access either cut pills that, you know, are stamped that look like the manufacturer that has whatever in it, or heroin, you know, on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's in that, or whatever nanoparticle microchips are in those needles. And what's it called? Since the Harrison Narcotics Tax Act of 1914, which the United States outlawed poppy and coca, which before you could just grow it, make tea, and whatever else you needed it for. Before they created the enforcement agencies that, you know, obviously still, you know, claim opioid crisis is some kind of excuse for why you can't give people healing from activating your opioid receptors and getting neuroprotection from that, and the health benefits of the coca leaf. Thousands and thousands of years of plant usage and cultures that still have not outlawed it. It just happened in 1914 before the creation of pharmacy. So the pill manufacturers make God knows how much money. Anyways, going back to that, I couldn't afford paying for. Didn't get a prescription because I didn't know how to. I would do a 40 milligram Oxycontin a day. And at the time, I would purchase an 80 if I could, and then I would save the other half for the next day. And that's all I did. You know, I didn't do anything else with it or use cannabis. The combination is a very, 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 very healing combination. And what's it called? That's it. I didn't do cocaine, speed, heroin, none of that, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I couldn't pay for them no more, and I didn't, this was around 2009, 2010. I couldn't pay for the $30 for 40 milligram, or $50 for 80 milligram. And what's it called? Because I sold everything I had. And what's it called? I was doing petty theft to support my medicinal need. And what's it called? You know, I don't know how I did that. You know what I'm saying? You ask any addict, like, you know, that has a habit or it's medicinal need for something, and it's just like, you know, how do you even come up with that money with no job? You know, I don't even know. Everything's a dollar sign when you wake up, you know, with the withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? Until you secure your medicinal need. And what's it called? It was gonna get to the point where I couldn't afford it, so like I was gonna probably start doing heroin. And I quit cold turkey. I said, I'm not doing heroin, bro, because I don't know what's in that. They call it Downtown Brown in Cleveland. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what the powder is in Cleveland either. You know what I'm saying? I never did cocaine, crack. I tried it. It doesn't do anything for me. I have a medicinal need for an opiate. It gives me, that's what I explained. And my father. So, you know, look at his life. and how messed up it is. Sad. You can't get opiate. I can't, because the Harrison Narcotics Tax Act and pharmacy. Anyways, and enforcement agents that say, yeah, opioid crisis. The man, shut up with that bullshit. Excuse my language. Look what you did with the Section 302 of the 21st Century Cures Act signed by Obama for the opioid crisis legislation. You know what you did? You slipped in that law that said you allow for non-consensual human experimentation on civilians without their consent, as long as it doesn't exceed minimal risk, and they don't have minimal risk criteria with devices and chemicals and technology, drugs from private corporations and government. Anyways, let's talk about the microchip program another day, with the corona shots. And what was I going to say? And the satanic plot to chip the entire population of the United States by 2030 that's being observed by the groups that I'm allying with and educating this monastery and the church right now. That there's an estimated 50 million Americans that are non-consensually microchipped without their knowledge. And then the company that scanned me since 2001 removed 15,000 out of 50 million. Anyways, what was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. My friend betrayed me, cheated on my ex-girlfriend that got killed, and my other girlfriend, Michael Peterson, Ukrainian noble family, brother since childhood. I found out he was into some satanic stuff my whole life when he went to North Royalton High School, and I didn't know. That's why he always had that weird power over me. And anyways, he got into Tibetan Buddhism real deep, where he got a tattoo, a Tibetan tattoo. It was part of Jewel Heart in Cleveland. I forget what branch of Buddhism. That's how I got introduced to Tibetan Buddhism. And anyways, when I was withdrawing from the OxyContin cold turkey in 2009, 2010, just when my first girlfriend broke up with me. 2 weeks after my first girlfriend broke up with me. And again, Blackfoot Sioux, African of unknown tribe, and Puerto Rican, very dark. First girlfriend, first girl I fornicated with. And I wouldn't have broke up with her to this day. And however I met her, whenever her sister moved into the neighborhood where I did. Anyways, story for another day. What's it called? I'll just have to make the point. 2 weeks before she broke up with me, we fornicated in oh, look at this mosquito I just got off my cheek. And what's it called? We fornicated in this motel room, or what's it called? Not to bring up sins and keep talking. Fornicated in this motel room. And I forget, like a Holiday Inn or something. Okay, this is important to mention. This is for psychological purposes, for understanding. That's what I'm saying. Okay, 2 weeks before she broke up with me, we fornicated there, okay? And, what's it called? My friend Michael Peterson's like, hey, bro, I got some LSD, man. Because he's tripping all the time and stuff like that. He did it like 70 times in 1 year and tried to kill himself. And because he watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and, he just was, this dude's fucking crazy. Excuse my language. And he practiced satanic Gnosticism. I didn't know at the time. And what's it called? That's why he had that power over me. Cheated on both my girlfriends. And the girl that got murdered. I said don't talk to her. He cheated on her. What's it called? What was I going to say? Before she got killed. Anyways, what was I going to say about that? Yeah, he approaches me. He's like, I'm going through OxyContin withdrawals after 4 days. Cold turkey. I quit cold turkey. I quit all substances cold turkey with no rehab and no methadone, no Suboxone, no drug rehab, drug counseling. 4 days into my OxyContin withdrawal, after my girlfriend broke up with me, I'm going through serious withdrawals. Restless legs, throwing up. And then, what's it called? He's like, hey, I got some LSD, man. I said, oh, cool fool, good for you. And then he's like, you want to try some? He said, if you try some with me, there's some gel tab LSD, supposedly. He got from some juggalo. And then, what's it called? So it was the Juggalo acid from Detroit. And if people understand what that means out in Cali. And what's it called? He, he said, trip with me, bro, and I'll give you 3 hits for free. And I said, whoa, what else am I going to do? I'm going through OxyContin withdrawal. Yeah, the right mindset. I found out later you're supposed to be in the right environment and the right mindset when you take hallucinogens. I found out later. What else was I going to do? I said, all right, dude, I'll take the acid. And then, or what I thought was acid, gel tabs. So, conveniently, I don't know if it was coincidental or not, it was winter time, so we couldn't trip in no one's houses, our parents' houses. I was, I don't know how old, like 20, I'm 37 now. And my girlfriend just broke up with me 2 weeks prior, and we fornicated in this motel room, right? We go to that motel room. He rents a room in that motel room that I fornicated with my ex-girlfriend 2 weeks prior, just broke up with me, 4 days withdrawing from OxyContin. And conveniently, we trip in the exact same room I fornicated with my girlfriend. The exact same room. Conveniently. I don't know, it's coincidental. So, the right environment and the right mindset, you're supposed to take hallucinogens. I didn't know at the time. What's it called? I took 3 hits of some gel tabs. It's in North Royalton off of Route 82. What's it called? Ohio. In the wintertime. I was wearing my uncle's, my mother's brother's Cavalry Division Vietnam field jacket, because he was drafted into the war, Vietnam Cavalry Division. And then when he was finished with basic training, the war ended, so he didn't have to go. Got by the grace of God. But I was wearing that jacket with the cavalry symbol. And what's it called? They're fucking binding me with this microwave hearing and all that stuff. People staring and shit. Because it's important what I'm about to say, even though it's off topic. And what's it called? Trip in the same room. My girlfriend and I fornicated 2 weeks prior. Convenient. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. And what's it called? The right setting, right mindset and environment. You're supposed to take hallucinogens. And I'm going through 4 days withdrawing from taking a 40 milligram or 80 milligram OxyContin a day. That I need a medicinal prescription to the day. And what's it called? You could just imagine what's going to happen to you. That's all I have to really say about that. Anyways, I'm in the room, right? It's 2 beds. There's nothing homosexual about it. We just need a place to go. It was just the same room we fornicated. My ex-girlfriend broke up with me. I don't know why would that happen. And what's it called? As I start hallucinating from the drug-induced hallucination of LSD, he's playing some psychedelic music of Beatles and stuff. I don't want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Then I see some vines growing on the ceiling. Dark vines. And then he turned into the goat head of Mendes. His face turned into the satanic symbol of the goat head of Mendes. And he was acting real weird. I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of this room, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I walked out of the motel room. And I looked at everyone's license plates. And I looked at the room numbers. I'm like, damn, we're all numbers. My social security number. And he gave me an orange. He's like, here, take this orange with you. I said, oh, okay. Then, what's it called? I walked across the street, Route 82, into the woods. And I followed a deer path. And I thought to myself, when I'm following the deer path, I'm like, am I the hunter or the hunted? You know what I'm saying? And then I ate the orange in the woods. And I realized vitamin C, if that makes sense to anyone that's hallucinated on LSD. I felt vitamin C, its effects through the hallucinogenic experience. I realized it. What's it called? It was weird, man. I felt the electricity go through my nervous system and the effects of the energy it gives you. And, yeah. go back to the motel room, and he's all freaking out because he's like, "Where'd you go, man?" I'm like, "I had to get away from you. You look like the fucking, excuse my language, the goat head of Mendes, the upside down satanic symbol." And I couldn't listen to the music you're playing. And I just had sex with my girlfriend in this exact same room that she just broke up with me 2 weeks ago, and I'm 4 days withdrawing from OxyContin because I couldn't get a prescription. I was going to advance to probably doing heroin, and I didn't want to do it, heroin. So what's it called? I didn't trust what was in it. That's why I did the oxy, because aside from needing medicinal prescription to this day, what's it called? I trusted the source I got it from, because it's from the manufacturer instead of Downtown Brown, whatever's in it. Now, during the opioid side topic, during the opioid crisis, and to this day, if you purchase the pharmaceuticals on the streets, there's gangs and groups that pill press to make it look like it's from a manufacturer, yet they cut it with God knows what, for the record. And what was I going to say about that? We left that motel room, went back to his house, right? Sleep over at his house, his mother's house. And he put in a movie. You know what movie he put in? Apocalypse Now. Have you ever seen that movie by Francis Ford Coppola? That was my first hallucinogenic LSD experience. Anyway, I'm going to end it at that.